performing hero coming in from Team Hawks, Yura, it has to be that Novaria. It's so deadly in his hands, and I think at least for Rain, he's probably taken that into consideration. But let's jump right into the draft. We already have Martis bans. We already have Kadita bans coming in from the side of Team Hawk. Well done. They've done their research. RGMY, Bakito to Rizla, two very separate ideas.
Ooh, these are targeted heroes coming from RGMI. These are all comfort ones coming from Iris, and I makes a lot of sense why Coach Galaga, they say, you know what, Iris, I've seen you play before. You know, your teammates have seen you for 2 seasons. We know what your limitations are. Let's test you out a little bit here. And I don't really like this approach, but it seems like RGMI says like, you know what, show me what you've got.
Yeah, I mean, at least they got rid of like the Bakito, right? That's a good flex pick. Coming jumping over back to Team Hawk, they get rid of the Edith. Rather interesting. Another flex pick coming in from the side of Team Hawk, but more importantly, it's one that actually has a significant impact in the meta right now. Consistently like stopping combos, just being very annoying in that front line. I still will walk by my opinion. It is a win harder hero. It's very hard to turn fights just with an Edith.
Agreed. But at the same time, final bans coming from RSGY. Joy is in the pool, but nope, they banned Angela. Means Joy is going to be snuck through into its, this first pick. So Team Hawk, do they prioritize Panda's Claude, or do they go in for the Joy to kind of flex it to jungle, maybe XP? I know both teams kind of want it, but no, they first picked the Fanny. Scary. Not a big fan of a first pick Fanny, considering RGMY has all the tools and information to deal with it right now.
I mean, they can. If they wanted to, I would hope that they go for a Saber Roam. Kind of depends on Stone's overall playstyle. It'd be very funny to actually see it, but as of yet, I think that RGMY, and I think especially since Demon Kite is part of the lineup, Joy just seems to be like a really good option, right? And at the very least, he has a lot of kill pressure. Won't have access to Martis, which is totally fine, but more importantly, he just doesn't want to be purple buff reliant, because if you are a purple buff reliant hero, you have to play for your strong lane closest to it, and in this case, that's going to be the EXP lane for the side of Team Hawk.
You know, I've seen Izanami kind of play Joy mid lane before. They didn't exactly have a lot of good preference for it, but nope, they take the Fredrin as well as the Valentina. Kufra still in the gray area, means Team Hawk can look to deny it right here, right now. And, you know, force RNG to go maybe, like you said, a Saber, and Akai, maybe even,
Come on, we got to do the standards. We got to do the standards. We got the Franco and Kaja still available. Both the suppresses haven't been touched just yet. I like the fact that, at least for RSGMY, they're keeping it flexible, right? They don't want to double down on the composition just yet. They want to see how Team Hawk is actually going to support this first pick Fanny. I can only imagine that if you are in Team Hawk's position, you look at this and you're like, okay, we need to deny them decent ults, right? Let's get the Novaria again for Yura. I think that's totally fine. Information and the fact that, man, his Novaria is so accurate.
It's the proof that I'm still
He's just been
alive.
destroying backlines.
Oh, this is nice coming from Team Hawk. They take the Brody away, denying it away from RGMY. And there's, when we talk about marksmen that can easily be threatened by the Fanny, I think Brody is one of those marksmen that still has like get-away jail card, and forcing them to go for the Melissa isn't necessarily the greatest in this current patch compared to like an Irritel or maybe even a P-Trix to a certain degree right now.
I suppose, but I think Team Hawk is making a hard... Well, I would say that they're making a hard read on RCMY, assuming that they are going to play some form of an assassin. We're yet to see whether or not Joy is going to get let through the draft, but it looks like it's going to be the Grok first for the side of RSGMY.
Roam Grok or XP Grok, but either or, it is still very flexible coming from RGMY. They do tend to lean on that direction where flex picks is always good. You know, in case of any surprises coming from Team Hawk, we will have a way to kind of deal with it. Personally, I'm not a big fan of it, but as of now, biggest threat is still going to be Fanny. Banning off the Claude as well as the Leslie is going to be a good ban coming from Team Hawk to kind of stop RGMY from you know, trying to deal with this Fanny, I guess.
It's interesting to see, right? Like, Team Hawk doubled down on saying, you know what? If we're going to support Fanny, we're going to... Usually, most teams would start taking away some hard CC, but it didn't get let through. And now that we're jumping into the second phase, RGMY is the one banning out the Kaja. Now, the fact that they're banning out the Kaja would indicate that they want to kind of position themselves for a potential assassin. A little hard to say because Fredrin's already there. Worst comes to worst, at least you got a beefy tank.
I don't know, but I've seen RGMY kind of play Fredrin, you know, especially with people, right? When he plays his Fredrin on the side lanes, he kind of wins his lane matchup, but I feel like it's more on what Iris is going to be playing for battle now, because as of yet, his signature Ruby is still in the pool as well. It's not really popular, but based in the current patch, it is kind of disgustingly tanky. Xbox as well is still in the pool as well, which is something that he can kind of utilize to deal with the true damage against a Fredrin.
Yeah, true. I wanted to bring up the X-Borg for sure, mainly because it's like, it would work well if you get the right matchup, but considering Team Hawk's comp, they need something tanky. They need something in that front line to kind of just peel away pressure, or at the very least, just have so much damage that it's very easy for both Brody as well as Fandy to kind of clean up the mess.
It's tough, but coming to the bans, RSGMI, final ban. Do they double down on the Franco ban? No, they go for the Kufra. Oh, huh?
I feel like they want to set up for Joy. It's a possibility. I'm not going to deny it away for the side of RSGMY. The fact that Team Hawk is banning out gold laners does give us an idea that Team Hawk is like, okay, we're not worried about carry. We're not going to have a very tanky lineup, but at the very least, we need to bully you out of lane.
Okay, I can see the Joy direction coming in here, but Minstar is still in the pool. That's one. But at the same time, would you say that RSGMY is trying to mirror this by going for a Ling matchup in the jungle and just force the Fredrin being played on Ripple?
Possibly. Ooh.
Oh, but down. What?
It's as if they're treating Ripple like Diablo from RSG-SG.
Well, technically, they do have that kind of vocabulary in their arsenal, right? Based on how, especially when Kuja... Well, if you think about it here, in their arsenal, I feel like Kuja has kind of in-drilled in all the RNG players.
He's just indoctrinating them. You gotta believe me, Banang is ridiculous. I would like to imagine that's gonna be his overall
jungle, maybe.
Alice jungle? Nah, I don't see it happening here. I think it's way too risky to actually play Alice jungle, considering that you already have the Novario, which is gonna chunk you out for pretty much pre-level 4. But predictable or part of the plan, Team Hawk always pick Panda's heroes 4th and Noir's hero last in all of their 7 games so far. A bit of a change at the very least, or we could say a bit of an adjustment. We do see the Glue and as well as Cho get locked in, and that's what we're talking about. Good peel overall and single target lockdown just to make that hard read that RSGMY are positioning themselves for an assassin-style jungler.
I really like the Cho pickup, but I'm not a big fan of the Glue. It might be a denial pick coming from Team Hawk. Glue in the current patch doesn't feel as strong as before personally. Yeah, personally I've tried it. I don't really like it as compared to before, and it feels like it might be a denial away from Repo. It's a comfort for him, but nope, it is going to be the XP Fredrin for RGMY.
I like it. I like it. I mean, RSGMY's comp is very traditional, very, very standard. I love the flexibility of it. It's great at team fighting. It can actually force out side lane pressure. The weak side being EXP, unfortunately, and the strong side being the Beatrix. So in this particular matchup, Ripple, it's all about him maintaining pressure on top side for as long as he possibly can.
Agreed, but seeing how the drafts has been set from both sides here, you know, it's a pretty clear cut on how both teams kind of want to play around it. Team Hawk leaning on having the Fanny kind of snowball their way through, while RSG's side is all about stalling towards the later stage of the game and kind of outplay your opponent. So it's going to be a battle of wits on who is going to be able to outpace each other and outplay each other, because now it all comes down to this moment. Team Hawk versus RSGMY. Things are going to get very, very dicey.
It is going to get very dicey. Team Hawk is going to need a snowball as early as possible, and RSGMY just has to take it. Let's jump right into this game.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, game 1. Team Hawk versus RSGMY. Battle of the XP laners, but to start things off, we are going to take a look at the junglers here. Gary as well as Demon Kai. It feels like Gary has a lot to prove in this game, whereas, you know, they brought in the Lancelot to kind of compensate with the mobility issue.
I don't think there was much of a mobility issue for RSGMY overall, right? They want to kind of hunker down as much as they can, but somebody needs to start fights. It's between Storm or Ripple, but having a secondary option is always good, especially when you can bait out spells. Looking at the emblems so far, doesn't seem nothing is too out of the ordinary. Izanami actually wanting to go for the Impure Rage to maintain pressure longer.
Yep, at the same time as well, we do see a little bit of aggressions coming in. Noir trying to poke into his Izanami Storm as well. trying to do a little bit chip damage, but it's only a couple of skirmishes here. But Gary and Demon Kite gonna try and contest a little bit more, but Demon Kite will be the victor in this securing his own jungle.
Yeah, now, again, both sides, again, a lot of assassin junglers are straying away from killing spree only because it's so easy for them to get those kills, and they don't need the extra mobility that they get from the killing spree, so it's better to optimize yourself with things like the Quantum Charge or even the Lethal Ignition for more kill power.
Yeah, agreed. But at the same time here, Team Hawk, they're not making major movements right now. They're starting things off with the traditional mid opening, but I like how RSG is having Storm get information on where this Fanny may or may not be. But as of yet, bottom lane, we do see the Fanny also going to be a fight against Demon Kite as well, but Demon Kite still has the sustainabilities to get out of this.
Iris and Rippo, it's just a sandbagging matchup overall. Nothing much is really going to come out of that lane, and more importantly, I think at least from the side of Team Hawk, they are mirroring Demon Kai. They are trying to minimize his overall impact on this game. We'll see how that's going to go as things escalate as we jump down in towards that turtle side. Mid lane's already pushed up, and Yura, he can open up the map so easily and make sure that Noir is not going to be in a compromised position.
Well, Turtle's got to be reset here. Izanami going to be poking Yura out of the fight. Half HP. Iris going to be stuck all by himself. He might actually die here. Here comes a split. He's going to be A-okay. He's trying to set out for the team, but the rest of Team Hawk is nowhere to be found. And I'm surprised how aggressive Iris is, despite this. None of his teammates is near.
I mean, are you forgetting that he's playing blue? He's basically Team America right now. He's never going to die.
Well, in this case, it might be Team Malaysia, but as of yet, Repo versus Iris again. He's got the sustains. He's a level ahead, and Noir almost close to his level 4 as well. He needs his Wave of the Dragon, but Demon Kai does try to deny this. Half HP on the turtle for now. Iris looking to try and zone for the team, but guess what? It's only a distraction. They are going to try. Noir goes for the jump, but Demon Kai secures the turtle. He needs to get out, but Noir might be in a little bit of trouble. He kicks Demon Kite away, and he actually escapes with 1 HP.
Why, Rippo didn't want to flicker for that? No, he didn't have the angle. Unfortunate. So far, Stoem doing a pretty good job at kind of keeping everybody at bay, but more importantly, Team Hawk, they're not posturing for this first turtle. It really doesn't matter to them too much unless they're able to get a kill onto Demon Kite's side. Gary might as well just power farm and not waste this time because it's particularly difficult to get in on RSG when they're all clumped up together. And let's not forget that their composition is designed against picking people off and slowly whittling them down with the help of the Navaria.
Yeah, I agree. But at the same time here, with that play being said as well, Iris losing the level lead, they're still doing an okay job in the bottom lane here. Feels like a wet noodle fight, but Noir now makes an attempt. Here comes the kick. They're trying to chip away in stone, but I don't think they have the damage to do so, but they do push RSG away and get a little bit of pressure off their map positioning right now.
Yep, and you can clearly see that Storm, he's not caring about the mid lane too much. He wants to open up the map, but he has Brave Smite, which does indicate that in those team fights, he needs to last as long as physically possible to waste the utility, to waste the skills, and more importantly, to waste free hits coming in from Panda.
Yep, again, Gary, we haven't seen him get extremely aggressive. Playing a little bit safe here, trying to mirror Demon Kite. So there is going to be a little bit of a safe zone coming in, but 30 seconds before this turtle, it seems like RSG, they are very, very focused on making sure they do win the turtle fights.
Yeah, no, it's important for them because they have a composition that's great at sticking together. And the only person who's really able to kind of break that up or threaten or getting major value is Iris. But he's on the opposite side of the map. And you can see Rippo's proxying. He's immediately going to start running over towards gold lane side just to participate in this turtle fight.
Yeah, but now 3 seconds left, and Gary does still have the purple buff a little bit here. It is going to wean off in a couple more seconds, so they have to be extremely quick about this. But as of yet, here comes the wall charge from Storm, trying to catch this off, but he gets the kick, he catches Izanami, gets bursted down. That's going to be first blood for Team Hawk. But now, with the turtle, 20% health left, Repo is going to stop Gary. That's going to be secured by Demon Kite. The fight is going to be split off, and Team Hawk now trying to zone off Demon Kite. But it seems like RSG just doesn't have the damage to take a split fight.
A little bit unlucky there. Very good initiation coming in from Noir to find that pick. He's got to help Panda's side. If he can find it, ooh, he's getting real low.
Yep. And now Leos is looking for a finish as well. Panda looking a fantastic job at clearing the minions, but he's going to be keeping the tier 1 alive for now. Meanwhile, pay attention to the minimap as well. Look at how Gary and Iris pressuring Repo right now. They lose the tier 1 down bottom, and they're trying to force RG and MY to be playing on that side of the map now.
I mean, I love the plan coming in from Team Hawk. They recognize that it's like, yes, I want a power farm, but at the same time, if we give every single objective over to RSGMY without really threatening them, nothing's going to happen in this game, and eventually we're going to get outscaled. So they have to be posturing for it.
Okay, Noir going for some stun as well. The kick comes in. Storm is going to be taking a little bit of damage here, but they just don't have the damage to finish him off. He gets out. Noir, he's going to be sacrificial lamb, and that's going to be disengaged coming in, and the purple buff as well, stolen away. And it's a little bit unfortunate. Was it stolen away? It seems like it's stolen away, though.
It's not stolen away. Gary still was able to secure a purple buff for himself. So at the end of the day, even if it was stolen, it doesn't really matter to him. As long as he has that purple buff. And notice, look at that. RSGMY just making sure they control their borders.
Oh my god. The damage coming from Gary, the Terrified from Izanami. Buys him a little bit of time. He might be dead, and that is going to be Izanami killing him off.
Unlucky. Even with lethal ignition, didn't have enough damage to secure the kill. Very nice flicker from Loliels.
My goodness, now Repo is a little bit of trouble. He's going to be A-okay, but again, you know, considering that they've lost Gary like that, Team Hawk is going to be, you know, back to playing a little bit more passive here, trying to scale for Yura, I guess.
I mean, Yura right now hasn't been able to participate in these fights too often, and more importantly, with the two beefy tanks for the side of RSGMI, both Rippo and Stone, just blocking the shots whenever they can, Yura is not in a position to really threaten the backline, or even if he does land his skills on the backline, it's not going to deal as much damage as he would like until we start seeing those first items roll in.
Yeah, but now Iris is going to be looking for the latch as well. Repo going to be half HP, saving up for the appraisals round. Panda looking for the finish. Repo gets it off on Panda, scares him off for now. But the split from Iris is trying to latch onto his Demon Kite, all the rest of the lines as well. But Noir makes an attempt, but he is going to be forced to disengage. And that's going to be the half dance around the Lord. They're just feeling the waters for now. By the turtle, it's going to be in the hands of RSG, and you can see Demon Kite is going to try and prioritize that turtle instead, and I don't think Team Hawk can fight this here. They're just so out of position, but now here comes the attempt. They catch on to Iris. Leos goes for the wombo combo. 3-man Jeet control comes in, but it's not going to be enough. RSG played this perfectly well, and it's not over yet. They're slow and steady. They're poking their way through, but here comes the collapse! Leos again punishes Hawk for the indecisiveness.
Unlucky. Izanami's doing a lot of good work.
Oh my goodness, it's not over yet. They're going to make an attempt. Wave Dragon from Noir, but where's the follow-up? He's going to die for absolutely nothing. And RSG, they prevail. And now Yura is going to make a run for it here. Demon Kai, he wants to extend this fight, but the minion's just 2 seconds too late for him to get his puncture.
So far, it's great to see that RSGMY is not dependent on Demon Kite to start these fights or make plays for the rest of the team. I think they have been practicing in scrims a traditional front-to-back composition, because the way that they're maintaining their own front lines, and especially when they walk into no man's land, Lolios is in such a safe position. Not to mention that even Izanami himself, the only reason he dies is only if Stone tries to go for a wild charge out of nowhere and Noir has Flicker. That's the only time he dies.
Agreed. Now, Noir looking to try and check the bush. Izanami is there to terrify him. He's level 8 though. He doesn't have the sustain. He's getting poked away by a couple of, poke spells coming from RSGMY. And it seems like when it comes to the inch battle, like every single march forward, RSGMY is taking it slow and steady. And Team Hawk just needs to be a little bit more decisive here. In this case, here comes the kick, catches the Storm. Noir taking a little bit too much damage. He's looking for Lolios, but he's not quick enough, and he is going to be the first to fall. Iris with the split. He does have the latch, but where's his team? He's all by himself. He isolates them, and now they've got him surrounded, and Iris will be completely bullied out, and that's going to be RSGMY wiping the floor with his face.
Exactly. Slow and steady wins the race, but more importantly for RSGMY, the slower they play, the more that Team Hawk feels like they need to take the initiative to do something in these matchups. Gary, I don't know if he's going to get back out in time after canceling that recall.
Oh no, Gary, he needs to get out. He's going to get caught out. Here comes the taunt, and Izanami with the stolen kick. He gets the Fanny. Goodbye, Gary. And now Storm instantly with the recall. The Lord also coming in. Big shots coming from Yura. But I don't think it's going to be enough. And that's going to be an easy Lord in the hands of RGMY.
Yep, without Gary, they're not able to finish off those kills. And more importantly, without Panda nearby to actually get in range to use the Torn Apart Memories, RGMY have a very clean lead. So far, very textbook plays all across the board. And RGMY is looking very, very polished right now. They're looking so good.
Yeah, but let's take a look at the items real quick here. It seems like Anti-Kira's upgrade coming from Iris. does have the Molten Essence, but aside from that, he needs a couple more. But hold that thought for now. Here comes the kick. They catch Storm, but again, does he die? Finally, Panda has been trying so long. He gets the annoying Grog, but at the expense of losing Noir right now. And Lolios, look at him. Go. He's got the damage. Yura scares him off with a big slap, but that should be a little bit of a stalemate for now.
Yeah, and right now, Team Hawk are going back and following protocols. Whenever they're behind, they always have Gary on this Fanny that, wait, that 1v1, that 1v1!
Oh my goodness, Gary, he's looking for the 1v1! He gets the auto attack in, Demon Kite falls, and this is a good defense, and it's gonna buy them a little bit of time to actually scale back to the game.
Just gonna call it lethal ignition diff. That's the difference there. One auto attack worth of damage just to secure, and it's great to see at the very least that Gary is holding on his own against Demon Kite despite being 3 levels down. I mean, Demon Kite, to be fair, I wouldn't even say that it's going to be a fair fight, but at the very least, they find one back to get a shutdown, a small shutdown. With the rest of the map actually slowly being compromised, RCMY, even if they do give kills over, as long as they are not losing their big ticket players like Izanami as well as Loliels, who again have large bounties on top of their heads, I don't think Team Hawk is going to be able to walk away for free.
Oh, it's going to be tough. It's all up to Yura whether or not he is going to be able to threaten them, because a few shots coming in, Lolios and as well as Izanami is being scared right now. They've got the vision. They're trying to go for the setup as well. Noir flickers forward. He gets the kick in, but he is going to be the first to fall. Gary Fighter interjects, but here comes the wall. Oh, he finds a crack. He gets out to safety, and RSG was hoping for more, but Team Hawk, they are able to get the reset, but once again, Izanami looking for the bait. He's looking for to try and isolate Gary again, but it's not going to happen for now.
Right now, Team Hawk, I don't know how they're going to try and crack or at least go even against RSGMY, right? No matter what they do, it all boils down to whether or not they can actually attack that backline. And so far, RSGMY have been maintaining their borders so very well. When the team fight starts, they immediately draw a line to make sure that Team Hawk doesn't have any angle to get on in. Gary tries to go for a flank, Rippo is there to block him. Iris tries to go and jump towards the backline, gets terrified by Izanami.
You know, Stove's wall blocks has been really on point so far. Like, and normally, you know, against a Fanny, you don't really want to choke together and clump up together. But based on RGMY, they've got so much CCs. If you come together, that's exactly what you want. I am going to be able to threaten you. But seeing how things are going here, seems like the purple buff will be stolen away. So no buffs for Gary. And again, with the Lord in RSGMY's control, Team Hawk, they need to find a way try to steal this or make a play, but it's going to be very difficult here. But Noir, he is going to get countered here. 2-man wall charge from Stove. It's going to get him killed, but Panda will trade him off. They lose the Lord, but here comes the snipe. Repo survives with 1 HP. They lose Iris, but Repo, he tanked the shot from Yura like a man.
I mean, he still has immortality. He knows that even if he loses the immortality, it's not the biggest deal in the world. Storm willing to sacrifice his life to make sure that Team Hawk don't get any positions or can't clear the choke point to move past in towards that Lord pit. So very well done for the side of RSGMY. This was the level of polish I was hoping to see in the first couple of weeks, but now it feels like they're more together as a team.
Yeah, agreed. But now, with the Lord coming in, Gary, oh no, he needs to get this kill. He really needs to get his kill, but he doesn't have the buff. And he's a level down, so agreed. He is going to be able to back out, but aside from this, it seems like RGMY is slowly choking and crawling and just strangling Team Hawk in this gameplay so far.
I mean, it's not about like whether they're getting mechanically outplayed. I think right now the composition is just really difficult to pull through, especially when you don't find that lead.
Yep, Iris now, he's going to get taunted out, forces the split. RSGMI, they are going to wait this out, and the Lord will be slowly choked away, but at the same time, RGMY, 9k advantage in terms of economy. Team Hawk just needs a good play coming from Noir, and so far it has been extremely difficult coming from him. But as of yet, he's looking for the plays, but no, they played slow. They just clear off the minions, and RGMY, they just back out.
Yeah, unfortunately for the side of... Wait, does Gary get it? No, he does not get the purple buff. So again, his impact being minimized, and I think they should be able to secure this inhibitor.
Oh, Noir getting a little bit angsty. It is a little bit frustrating here. They've got the vision. But RG says we are going to wait out the debuffs and try and pull them out of a very awkward situation. In this case, Team Hawk not going to be looking for the fight for now unless they get a nice kick. But in this case, it's going to take some time. Gary, no purple buff means they have to slow things down, but Noir, nope, he is gonna back out again.
Yeah, he's totally fine. So far,
Oh, they saw it from a mile away, Panda. Great reflexes here. He's gonna bait out the flicker, but no! A big collapse from Lolio's Panda. He gets the Winds of Nature in time, but the damage is a little bit too much. Double kill for RSGMY. However, Izanami, they're looking for the finish. Iris, can he get the kill on Lolio's? He will, and that's gonna buy them even more time. He latches on Izanami and he is gonna try and finish him off. Meanwhile, Demon Kai cuts the back lines, finds Yura, finds them all, but Gary is gonna train him off, and now Team Iris, Team Hawk, he needs to get out. Will he be able to? No, he cannot. And RSGMI, they trade 4 for 3. But Team Hawk, they still survive this. But look at this, Repo. He is going to try and mow down the crystal, but no. There's just no minutes, there's no damage, this is not worth it.
Yeah, Rimbo probably didn't need to be there at that point in time. He thought maybe I could just get a little bit more crystal damage. The crystal is eventually going to regenerate, so it's not that big of a deal for the side of Team Hawk. But what we can say, a 4 for 3 trade in favor of RSG. And I think, even RSG recognized that maybe we went a little too ham there. Maybe we disrespected Team Hawk a little too much. Their composition is designed to play it slow. The only person who can ramp things up is supposed to be Demon Kai. Right now, Yura with the Astral Sphere. 24 times hero hit rate.
That's scary. That's very, very difficult to actually pull off. But at the same time, he's going to be the core winning factor for Hawk to actually threaten Lolios as well as Izanami. And that's going to be a problem here because as of yet, Izanami has showed himself. But Noir, he finds the kick. But no, he kicks on towards the Fredrin again. Demon Kai secures the lore. But Team Hawk, they're going to try and wrap them out. They find Izanami. And now here comes the collapse. Gary is doing so much damage, but he needs to get out. 1 HP. Lolios gets the kill onto his Panda. But he needs to get out. Iris comes in for the back of his wall. He latches onto him. They're slowly keeping him alive, but the rest of Team Ha, they just don't have the resources to fight this. Do they fight this or do they defend against this Lord? They need to back off because the Lord is pushing into their base. But look at this. They get the kill on Lolios. He has the immortality, but Iris, he's buying time. But the snipes from Yura! He finds Lolio! A big catch for Team Hawk, but somehow they're hanging on, and Iris now has the immortality. He's dancing with Demon Kite, and that is going to be a complete outplay from Team Hawk.
Nicely done from Team Hawk. Forward thinking. Especially since Noir has already used all of his abilities, he pulls back to slow down this board, managing 3 waves and sacrificing bottom inhibitor to make it happen. Now Team Hawk even up the score. Once they saw the Winds of Nature down by Lolios, you could see Gary straight away. I'm going to recall Iris. You need to buy a little bit of time. If you can open up the map a little bit more, Yura might be able to help you with a skill shot to turn it all around. Doesn't matter. If that doesn't work out, I will clean up the fight. And Gary pulls through.
From a 9k, 10k gold advantage from RGMY, they equalize it from Team Hawk. Now only a 2k difference, and even the AI predictor as well. Somehow, it's supposed to be RSGMY's game to win, and it's somehow Team Hawk is able to hold on.
Exactly. And I mean, I think that RSGMY is thinking for the short term in terms of their team fights. They need to start thinking for the long term. Take these short fights because right now, look at Noir. He can't deal with this type of damage. He's getting absolutely obliterated. No immortality now. No way for the dragon to actually work. I don't want to say the new name of it. I think there is a proper pronunciation, but I haven't figured it out just yet.
No, when it comes to this play with Noir down for 40 seconds, that's going to be a huge one. Iris is going to try and make a play here from behind. He catches on the repo. He gets CC'd, and that's going to be Lolios bursting him down. It might be over, and now Panda can't even force a fight against Lolios. Look at him. What a Chad, an absolute aggressor. But the minions, they get cleared out, so it is still breathing room for Team Hawk for now. But it's still going to be very difficult here unless Panda makes a play. They force out the Winds of Nature. Not huge, but where's the damage? They can't finish on Repo. Great Astro coming in from Yura. Connects on all of them. It is going to slow them down, but is it enough to scare them off? But RG says, we are going to back off. We need to heal up. Stone forces a flicker. But can they chip away the immortality? No, they cannot. But great defense so far. Great defense.
Panda, he scaled up. He's got really relevant damage right now. And I think that RSGMY needs to start respecting it. Even Loliels, again, he shouldn't be using his Winds of Nature. He needs to hold on to it for as long as possible. But considering his aggressive style and the fact that he flickers forwards, 90% of the time so far, he is not flickering backwards. You can tell that even the RSG is struggling to close this out. So they have to use this Luminous Lord. It's 20 minutes into the game. A single death could mean super long death timers. And more importantly, Team Hawk, they see the exact same potential, right? So if they can get picks and play it really, really slow, slower than how RSG is taking over territory in the map and creating space, they might have an opportunity to actually rip one of the tanks away from the main 5.
But it's so hard though, considering that there is a Fredrin who just like, doesn't mind taking space inch by inch, and that's what makes him so strong. In this case, Noir is going to try and go for the black lines again. They know exactly where they are. Iris thinking from the flank angle from the top side. Again, Hard. They haven't had the success yet, but Izanami with the stolen wave of the dragon. He is going to get bursted down, and RSG says, know what? Forget about the Lord, it's just a bait. They almost got Gary, but now they're isolated. Team Hawk, Iris with the split, he needs to get out, and he will not be able to. Gets completely collapsed by RGMY.
I think Iris tended, honestly, he had to use the split, but most people tend to forget that with Lancelot, you're able to use that puncture multiple times through the glue split, just so you can really stack up that damage. But now, I think that RGMY, now that they've taken away the main pick tool for the side of Team Hawk, they don't even need the Lord for this. They can just muscle their way in.
Agreed. Now they are going to try collapse. Two-man wall charge is it, and this might be over, and RGMY is going to be the better team for Game 1. They proved themselves